Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a first-time homebuyer, especially right here in Central Florida, you are probably feeling a really strange mix of emotions right now. It's that combination of intense excitement about finally owning your own place mixed with this deep, quiet panic. There are a dozen voices telling you what to do: friends, news headlines, social media. Plus, there's all these terms you might not completely understand yet, and a very real fear of making an expensive mistake. I want you to know right out of the gate that this confusion, it is completely normal. Our goal today is to take that panic and replace it with absolute clarity. Because of that overwhelming feeling, you might find yourself saying things like, "I'm not ready to buy." First off, I really want to validate that feeling. It is completely normal to default to this sort of protective internal monologue when you're staring down a complex market. But here's the truth we need to unpack today. While that phrase acts as a mental shield, it's honestly just too vague to be useful. It stops the conversation entirely. It doesn't tell us what's actually holding you back, whether it's a real financial hurdle or maybe just a lack of information. Okay, let's dive into this. We really need a massive paradigm shift here, because treating readiness like an emotion leaves you vague, anxious, and constantly guessing. You end up waiting for this magical feeling of confidence that, honestly, might never arrive. Instead, readiness should be treated like a concrete profile. A profile is measurable, it's diagnosable, and most importantly, it's actionable. We can actually review it, find the real gaps, and improve it. Measuring your real picture. This brings us right to the mechanics of our strategy. The goal here isn't to guess. We don't want you relying on false confidence, and we certainly don't want you sitting on the sidelines because of false fear either. We just want to stop, take a breath, and objectively measure what your financial reality actually looks like right now. So what exactly are we measuring? Let's calmly walk through the first half of this readiness framework. These are objective data points we can actually diagnose. First up is credit. And I don't mean a free app score, but your true actual mortgage credit profile. Then income and debt. What you make and what a lender can legally count aren't always the same thing, and your debt-to-income ratio is very often the largest hurdle to approval. Next is cash to close, which is literally exactly what you need out of pocket to make it happen. And crucially, payment comfort. Because being approved for a maximum number by a bank absolutely does not automatically mean that monthly payment feels safe in your actual daily life. Moving right along, to complete your roadmap, let's map out the final 5 pillars. Documentation is totally key because lenders need proof, not just promises. We define your timeline to figure out when making a move actually aligns with your life. Then we evaluate your loan path, whether that's an FHA, conventional, USDA, or VA loan. We'll deeply explore assistance options like down payment programs. These can drastically reduce your out-of-pocket costs. And finally, your property strategy. Are we hunting for a starter home, a future rental, maybe a house hack? Together, all 10 of these pillars complete your true profile. Now, this framework really exposes the absolute danger of guessing. Think about 2 completely different buyers. Buyer A feels super unready because they don't have 20% to put down. But once we actually look at their profile, apply a solid plan, and introduce some assistance programs, they're actually much closer than they think. Meanwhile, buyer B feels totally ready because they've got a bunch of cash saved up. However, just beneath the surface, they have a really fragile debt-to-income ratio that could create major problems once the process gets serious. Feelings lie, profiles do not. The crucial point is how we address this, and that is through strategic mortgage planning. As a real estate planner, my job is to act as your fiduciary guide, which means I am legally and ethically bound to protect your best interests. A transactional agent just hands you a basic pre-approval snapshot and starts opening doors. We don't do that. We build a comprehensive roadmap based on this exact profile. We verify your numbers, identify the absolute smartest options for you, and we actively fix any weaknesses before you ever go under contract. Ultimately, the goal is simple but profound. Identify what needs work and build a plan. We do not assume anything. We verify everything. By doing this, we make sure that when you finally enter the market and start looking at homes, you are shopping with absolute purpose and protection, rather than just being driven by emotion, stress, or market hype. This is one of the reasons I built Real Estate Launchpad. When someone hires me as their real estate planner, we do not start by pretending they are ready. We look at the real picture, where they are now, where they want to go, what needs work, what options may be available, and what kind of first home would actually make sense once the plan can support the purchase. We basically slow the process down so you are totally protected when the market speeds up. I want to leave you with this vital thought. You do not need to know everything before you start, but you should know what you are measuring. Readiness is not a feeling, it is a profile. And once you understand the profile, you can start building the plan. You absolutely have the power to take the guesswork out of this entire process. If you found this explainer helpful, here is your clear, pressure-free next step. Schedule a first-time buyer planning consultation when you are ready to look at your situation clearly. Stop relying on how you feel about the market, and let's start measuring your real profile. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this, and I really look forward to helping you build your plan.